Hello everyone. I'll start by making a confession. I am a teenager, which means by profession, I'm professionally confused. Literally, career confusion is like Wi-Fi in my house. Sometimes there is full signal, sometimes it's completely gone, and mostly it is buffering. But you see, this career confusion is not random. Psychologists say that the teenage brain is going through something called identity formation. So there's this psychologist called Erik Erikson who actually wrote about this teenage stage and said that the teenagers ask essential questions like, who am I? What role do I play in this society? So perhaps that's why at the age of 9, I wanted to be a cricketer. At the age of 11, a filmmaker. At the age of 13, a space scientist. And literally last week, a food blogger. Sometimes I like what my parents do. They are doctors, they save lives. Sometimes I like what my uncle and aunt do. They are teachers, they shape lives. And even sometimes I like what my hairstylist does. He shaves lives. And so, I began my research on how to choose a career and build it. And so here are my notes on my conclusion, which I want every teenager to resonate with. So my dear teenagers, are you in the land of career dilemmas? If yes, let me dilute these dilemmas for you. So dear friends, here's key point 1. A career is not a job. A career is a way of thinking. There's even a term for it called enclothed cognition, which means the way people dress changes the way they think. So if you give someone a lab coat, he'll become more analytic, more logical. He'll start doing things more cautiously. If you give someone a chef's apron, he'll start garnishing Maggie with coriander leaves as if it is MasterChef. So when we choose a career, we are not just choosing an income, but a lens through which we are going to see the world 24/7. Because we have to face it, careers are no longer 9 to 5 jobs. They are our whole day and night operating systems. So for example, a doctor doesn't stop being a doctor just because it's 5 p.m., does he? An artist doesn't stop seeing colors just because it's midnight. And I don't stop being confused just because it's Sunday. Okay, so there's this bakery in Pondicherry. So at the surface, it's just a normal bakery. But deep inside, it's built in such a peculiar way, as if it was built by the last people on moon who had nothing to do with anyone and came together to open this bakery. So this bakery is opened by a group of friends who came together after getting their degree. So this bakery has a baker who manages the art of bread and bakes bread. But this bakery even has an economist who manages the prices, optimizes costs, and now this bakery isn't just baking bread. It is running sustainably, opening to new outlets, and is known famously in the whole city. Now, of course, I won't name this bakery because TEDx does not like promoting stuff. And so, this bakery has an economist and a baker. And guess who walks in? A historian. A historian in a bakery? Isn't that weird? But yes, even historians like to eat cakes and biscuits. And so yes, they can open a business in a bakery. So what this historian does is that he redefines menu by using his technical terms and uses recipes of cakes used in iconic and important events like the Titanic. And thus, he builds narratives which a normal baker by degree can't. And the final friend is a psychologist. She studies common human behaviors like why do people like to sit in a certain lighting? Why do people like to buy a cake which has a certain smell? Why do people like a certain kind of interior? And wow, she literally turns psycho-human studies into what can buy you the best croissant sales. I mean, I was so curious about it all that I dug deeper and realized that interdisciplinary approaches like this are already being researched a lot. In fact, businesses where there is heterogeneity in leadership, egalitarian teams where there is no hierarchy, but flat and equal placement of paradoxical leaders, such businesses are popping up globally. Cafes in Tokyo, bakeries in Pondicherry, bookstores in Amsterdam are famous not because of just one career, but different careers, different perspectives collide. Retailers are teaming up with delivery startups. Healthcare workers are teaming up with fintech. Real estate owners need insights from healthcare workers. Partnership among such eclectic thinkers is already becoming the norm. At Walmart, they call it moving away from an isolated innovation to integrated innovation, where leaders in technology, user experience designing, business operations, etc., come together to come up with cross-functional innovation. No wonder when Nike and Apple iPod collaborated to track distance and health, the way people looked at health changed a lot. And when Spotify and Starbucks collaborated, customer engagement trebled up. And Fortnite, when collaborated with world-famous singer Travis Scott, it held its first virtual concert held by 12.3 million players. So you see, that's the thing. We think that careers are boxes. Doctor, engineer, lawyer, that's it. But no. Careers are like Instagram filters. Each filter colors the world in a different way. And when filters combine, you don't get confusion. You get creativity. So today, I've cracked the code. I don't need to worry about picking a career. Seriously, nothing is small, nothing is big. Nothing is more important, nothing is less important. There's a room for everything in this world. So my dear friends, here's key point 2. And this is going to be my last one before all of you start checking your phones. The real question is not what career should I pick. The real question is, which thing makes me the most alive? What problem would I like to solve when there's no one around it? So, career confusion is not really a problem. It's a data collection. We humans are basically Google Drives. Whatever we do, play football, study, do coding, do painting, it's literally a file saved. And later on, we can scroll through these files and realize, hey, this thing made me the most alive then. So yeah, I still have a few months into picking my career, and now I'm not scared at all, because whatever I choose, doctor, engineer, lawyer, or even a donut shop owner, this world needs it, which means whatever I choose can't be wrong. And by this, I will have this unique identity of Zyan Soni, which will be quintessentially mine and just fine. And my contribution will be the Midas touch, which will convert any venture, any enterprise into gold. So my dear teenagers, hold your horses, gather your reins. Your heart knows what you want in life. Thank you.